I have been relaxing my hair at home myself for 6 years now, and in fact, this was one of the things that grew my hair to butt length. So I started relaxing my hair in 2020, that is 6 years ago, but before that I used to relax my hair at hair salons. And the reason why I stopped relaxing my hair at salons were that they never listened. Now there are a lot of things that goes into play when you want to relax your hair the healthy way in order to retain length and actually make your relaxed hair healthy and longer. But when I tell these things to my hairstylist, they never listen. When I say relax only the new growth, they never listen. In fact, most of the time they agree with you, like they accept that they are going to do what you want, but when the process starts, they still end up doing what is in their mind at the end of the day. So in 2020, I said to myself, I am not going to be doing this anymore, because at that point my hair got stuck at a growth plateau. So I told myself that if I was going to grow my hair out of this plateau, I am going to have to do something I have never done to my hair before. So that was when I started doing everything myself, installing my protective styles myself, washing my hair myself, and relaxing my hair myself. And when I say that when I started doing this, my hair turned around. In fact, ever since 2020, my hair has just grown non-stop. From mid-back length, my hair grew like wildfire, and now we are over tailbone length. And this was just because I decided to be doing my hair myself, including relaxing my hair myself. Trust me sis, when you start relaxing your hair yourself, when you get the hang of it, your hair will thank you for it, and in fact you will never look back. So that's why in today's video I want to teach you how to relax your hair yourself in order to keep your relaxed hair healthy and retain length. Now I get that you may never have relaxed your hair before, and you may probably be nervous. In fact, so many people are scared of relaxing their hair because they have never done it before. But trust me sis, every single person that relaxes their hair today had a first time. The first time I relaxed my hair was nerve-wracking. In fact, I was so anxious. So trust me, I have been there. We have all been there. And that's why for today's video, I want to break the process down step by step, so that even if you are a beginner, this will be so easy for you to follow. Now I'm going to break this process into the pre-relaxer routine, during the relaxer application process itself, and the post-relaxer routine. So there are things you have to do before the relaxer day, things you are going to have to do on the relaxer day, and things you are going to have to do after the relaxer day. So when it comes to before the relaxer day, the first thing you want to do is to watch a ton of at-home relaxer videos. So go on Google, go on YouTube, search up videos about at-home relaxer routines and watch all the videos you can find. Like watch as much videos as possible. Now this is going to do at least two things for you. The first one is that you are going to get some tips along the way. Like when you watch a ton of videos, you may learn one or two things from those videos, some tips, some hacks that may help you on your relaxer day. The second thing is that it's going to put you at ease, knowing that there are other people doing this, like seeing videos of people doing this themselves, especially when you have consumed a lot of that type of content. It's going to kind of put you at ease and make you more relaxed and less anxious when you finally decide to relax your hair. So this is where you want to start from. Watch as much videos as possible about at-home relaxer routines. When I was about to relax my hair, this was what I did. In fact, this was where I started from. I binge watched a lot of videos about relaxing your hair at home, how to relax your hair at home the right way, how to properly apply the relaxer. And back then, this type of videos were more common because a lot of the girlies then were relaxed compared to now that almost everybody is transitioning to natural hair. But even with that, trust me sis, you still see a lot of those videos online, especially when it comes to YouTube. But videos that were posted about this even as long as 10 years ago are still on YouTube. So just help yourself, go online, watch as many videos as you possibly can about relaxing your hair at home. Moving on, the next thing you want to do is to get your products ready. Your relaxer day is not the day for you to get your product. So whatever product you need to use on your relaxer day, you are going to have to get it ready before that day. So this ranges from your relaxer itself, your deep conditioners, including both your protein and moisturizing deep conditioners, your shampoos, your combs, your accessories, your towels, like every single thing you need to use on your relaxer day. Make sure that you get them ready before the relaxer day. A relaxer day can be stressful, especially when you are the one relaxing your hair yourself. So you want to make the day as relaxing as possible. The morning of your relaxer day is not when you want to start cleaning your brushes or cleaning your combs or getting your stuff together. So you want to make sure that your products and everything is organized and ready before the relaxer day, so that On that day, all you have to do is relax your hair. So this is why it is very important for you to get your products, your tools, your accessories together and ready before that day. If you don't have them in stock, this is the time to buy them and get them ready. If you know that you can't get your products from a beauty supply store close to you and you need to order them online, this is even more reason for you to place your order early so that the products can arrive before your relaxer day. So make sure to get all your products, tools and accessories together before your relaxer day. Moving on, the next thing you want to do is to make sure you take down your protective styles at least 2 weeks prior to your relaxer day. Now, I see a lot of people make the mistake of taking down their protective styles on the day they are relaxing their hair. Like even till today, a lot of people still do it, and it is shocking because I feel like now more knowledge about hair care is more common compared to like years ago. So I still kind of feel a little bit surprised when I still see people doing this, but at the same time I kind of understand it's not that they know and they are willingly hurting themselves or decide to hurt their hair. They may not have had the knowledge, they may just have been ignorant, and that is why they are making this mistake. But if you are watching this video, now you know, okay, so you are not supposed to take down your protective style and relax your hair on the same day. You are putting your scalp at the risk of getting burns, you are putting your relaxed hair at the risk of breakage, and at the end of the day, you are just going to be damaging your hair. So if you have been doing this, make sure you stop it. So if you have on any form of sew-in, weave, crochet, box braids, twist, extensions, mini braids, make sure you take everything out at least 2 weeks before your relaxer day. This is very, very important because it's going to give your hair enough time to rest and relax after taking down your protective style and before your relaxer day. Because the truth is, a relaxer process is a very stressful process, and taking down your protective style is also a stressful process for the hair and for your scalp. So if you are doing both on the same day, you are going to be overwhelming your hair and your scalp, and in the process damaging them. So when you are taking down your protective styles, you are going to be tugging your hair, brushing your scalp, like irritating your scalp and so many things. So this alone is stressful for the hair. So you need to give your hair time to recover from all these before you go on to slap a relaxer on your hair. So after taking down your protective styles, you can put your hair in a simple bun or in chunky braids, maybe 4 chunky braids or 6 chunky braids that are not tight, because at this point we don't need anything tugging on the scalp, we don't need anything irritating the scalp. So you keep your hair in that state for those 2 weeks before your relaxer day. Moving on, the next thing is to let your hair rest. So for those 2 weeks, you are not going to be doing anything to your hair or to your scalp. So no washing, yes, is no washing, no combing, no scratching, basically nothing on your hair or on your scalp. You want to try as much as possible to let your hair rest. So give your hair and your scalp time to breathe, because if you shampoo your hair, if you comb your hair or scratch your scalp, you are going to be irritating your scalp, you are going to be manipulating your hair. And when you do this, trust me sis, your hair and your scalp is not going to like it on your relaxer day. Okay, so make sure that you let your hair rest throughout the entire 2 weeks. So no washing, no shampooing, no scratching or irritating your scalp, no combing, none of that is necessary. Just allow your hair and your scalp to rest and breathe. So these are the things you need to do before your relaxer day. Now moving on to your relaxer day, the first thing you have to do is to section your hair. Now this is not compulsory, but it makes it so much easier, especially if you are a beginner. Ever since I started sectioning my hair to relax my hair, I have not looked back. In fact, I don't even know if I can relax my hair now without sectioning. So what I do is to put my hair in twists, and the twist usually starts a few centimeters away from the point of demarcation between the new growth and the previously relaxed hair. This way it makes it so easy to apply the relaxer on your hair when the application process starts, because now you don't have to stress yourself to partition or section your hair during the application process. All you just have to do is pick one twist one after the other and apply the relaxer on both parts of that section. Another reason why this sectioning and twisting is important is because it lets you know where to apply the relaxer. Like I said earlier, when I section my hair, I make sure that the twist starts a few centimeters away from the point of demarcation between the new growth root and the previously relaxed hair. This way, when I'm applying the relaxer on my hair, I know that I need to stop just before the twist starts. So I don't even have to stress myself figuring out where the new growth is or where the point of demarcation is, because I have already sectioned my hair. Moving on, the next thing you want to do is to protect your ends. Protect your previously relaxed ends. Now, this is something some people don't know, but you are not supposed to apply the relaxer to your previously relaxed hair. Once a section of your hair has been exposed to a relaxer before, it is never supposed to come in contact with a relaxer again, because if it does, you will be over processing your hair, and this simply means that you are over relaxing your hair. This can actually weaken your hair strands and lead to breakage, and this is why you notice that some people who do this have relaxed hair that is short, that is not healthy, that has even lost its natural color. So sometimes their hair may start getting lighter, so instead of black, their hair may start getting brown. At the same time, they will be experiencing so much breakage because the hair strands are weak, because they have been over processed. So this is why it is important for you to protect your previously relaxed hair from the relaxer application process, because sometimes, no matter how careful you are, the relaxer may still get in contact with your previously relaxed hair, or even after relaxing, when you go into the shower to shampoo, the relaxer is going to run through your previously relaxed hair, like when you are washing down. So this is why it is important to protect your previously relaxed hair, and my favorite way of doing this is to grease those parts. So I usually use petroleum jelly for this, so you can use any petroleum jelly of your choice, any grease of your choice, as long as it's something like a grease or a petroleum jelly that is thick enough to protect those ends, you are good, sis. So make sure you coat those ends. Make sure you coat your previously relaxed ends with any sort of grease or petroleum jelly in order to protect them from getting over processed. Now, after doing this, the next thing you want to do is to start your application process, and you are going to start by applying the relaxer to only your new growth. Like I said, this is the part of your hair that the relaxer should touch. Any part of your hair that has come in contact with a relaxer before should be avoided. So you are going to apply the relaxer to only your new growth. Now, some people complain and say that when they apply the relaxer to only their new growth, it feels as if they have not relaxed their hair. So that is why they apply the relaxer to every single part of their hair, so that their hair can be stretched and sleek and all of that. But sis, the reason why your hair is not sleek from the roots to the tips is not because of a relaxer. In fact, you are worsening and damaging your hair if you feel that is the only way that is going to give you that sleek look. So if you want to get that after the relaxer day, there are other ways to do that. Sometimes the problem may be just moisture. Your relaxed ends are not moisturized enough, and that is why they don't look as stretched or as straight as your new growth. And other times it may just be styling. So something as simple as putting your hair in a bun or putting your hair in styles that stretches your hair out, like twists, is enough to give you that stretched and sleek look. So sis, the reason you are not getting that look is not because you need a relaxer on those ends. You just need to moisturize them and style them properly. So never ever make the mistake of applying your relaxer to any other part of your hair apart from your new growth, except you want to damage your hair. Now, moving on, another thing you want to do, especially when it comes to relaxing the back sections of your hair, is to feel with your fingers or use a mirror. Now, this is the most difficult part of a relaxer process, at least for me. Like when you are applying relaxer to the hair at the back of your head, because you're not going to be seeing it the same way you see the front sections of your hair. So this is where your fingers are going to have to come into play, or you're going to have to use a mirror. For me, I don't usually use a mirror. I just use my fingers to feel my hair texture, because obviously the texture of my new growth is going to be different from that of my previously relaxed hair. And this is also another reason why sectioning my hair is important, because then I know that the relaxer is not going to be going past that point where my twist started from. So this is a very simple hack. But if you know that you won't be able to do this, probably because you are wearing gloves or for any other reason, you can use a mirror. Now, there are ways to position two mirrors that will allow you to see the back of your head. And there's also a particular type of beauty mirror now that opens up, that kind of lets you see the back of your head. So these are both wonderful options if you choose to use a mirror instead of just feeling with your fingers. Another tip while on this process is to use a relaxer application brush. Now, some people choose to use their fingers, some people just use glue gloves instead of using a brush. But from my personal experience, I feel using a brush is better because since I have tried all of them, like I have used my bare fingers, yes, I have used gloves, and I have also used a relaxer application brush. And out of the three, using a relaxer application brush is the best because when I used my bare hands, I would always get burns. In fact, my fingers during that point will be so affected by the relaxer that even 1 week later, I can still feel the effect on my fingers. So that is why I decided to stop using my fingers. I then transitioned into using gloves. But when I started using gloves, I noticed that I wasn't really getting that feel. Like I could not really feel my hair as much as I would wanted to. Like I said earlier, I don't use a mirror. I use my fingers when I'm trying to locate where my new growth stopped. So having to feel my hair was very important, and using gloves kind of made this difficult. So that is why I started using a relaxer application brush, and ever since I started this, I have not looked back. So what I do is to use my bare hands but with a relaxer application brush. And the reason why I am using my bare hands here is because I am not going to be touching the relaxer. So I can use my left hand to feel for my new growth while I use my right hand to handle the relaxer application brush and use it to apply it on my hair. So either way, my fingers are not coming in contact directly with the relaxer, but at the same time, I am able to feel for my new growth and know where the new growth stops. So that is a hack I would recommend for you guys to try out, using a relaxer application brush with just your fingers, especially if you want to use the method of feeling for your new growth. But if you want to use a mirror, this is not necessary. You can just put on gloves from the beginning of the process to the end if you feel like it. Moving on, the next thing you want to do is to apply the relaxer on your nape area and your edges last. So there is a system I recommend when it comes to applying relaxers on your hair yourself. You want to start from the back sections, then after finishing that, move on to the front sections, and after that, before you apply the relaxer on your edges and your nape area. And this is because these areas are very, very sensitive. If you start the relaxer application process and right from the beginning the relaxer is in contact with your nape area or your edges, trust me sis, before you even go halfway, those areas might be burning already. So in order to avoid this, you want to make sure to apply the relaxer on those areas last. Moving on, another tip is to follow instructions on your relaxer. Now, different relaxers come with different instructions, different recommended times when it comes to how long you have to leave the relaxer on your hair. So this is why following instructions on your relaxers is important. In fact, make sure you read this before you start the application process. And the time is going to be different depending on if you have fine hair, coarse textured hair, or just medium textured hair. So for example, I use Prophetic Mega Growth Relaxer Super Strength. And for fine hair, the whole relaxer application process should probably last, I think, about 10 minutes. For medium textured hair, about 15 minutes, while for coarse textured hair, about 20 minutes. Now, when it comes to this duration, the time does not start counting after you finish the application process. It starts counting right from when the relaxer touches your hair. So you need to set a timer right from when you start the application process. So for example, if it's 20 minutes, the application process may take you 5 to 10 minutes, while the wait time may take you 10 to 15 minutes. So everything has to be calculated together, not just the wait time. So you need to add the application time plus the wait time. That is the total time for the relaxer application process. So like I said, this time is going to differ based on the type of relaxer you use, based on your hair texture. So always read the instructions on your relaxer so that you'll be able to know how long you need to leave the relaxer on your hair for and how long the entire application process is supposed to take for your hair. Moving on, the next thing you want to do is to smoothen your hair with your fingers. Not your comb, okay? Not your comb. Let me emphasize this. So after you finish applying the relaxer on your hair, it is now time to smoothen it out. Some people do this using a comb. Sis, don't do this. Do not try it. Using your fingers is enough for you to smoothen out the relaxer on your hair. Now for this part, you are going to need gloves regardless of how you started. Like I said earlier, when I start, I use just my fingers with a relaxer application brush because I know that the relaxer is not going to be touching my fingers at this time. But when it comes to the smoothing time, I put on gloves because now I know that I need to make use of my fingers. So you are going to need gloves for this part. So the process is not difficult. All you have to do is gently smoothing out the relaxer from the roots down so that it's kind of evenly distributed, and at the same time helping stretching your new growth. Now take note, when doing this, you are also going to be careful not to pass that point of demarcation between your new growth and your previously relaxed hair. Like, try as much as possible to also avoid your previously relaxed hair at this point. So you can stop at like maybe 1 to 2 centimeters past the point of demarcation, so that this way your previously relaxed hair is still protected. So basically, the smoothing process is also going to be just on the new growth, because I've noticed that sometimes some people want to cheat the system. Like, they will be like, they apply the relaxer to only their new growth, great, but when it comes to the smoothing process, they try to smoothen it out to the previously relaxed hair and even down to the ends. Sis, do not do this. Like I said, as long as a relaxer has come in contact with a part of your hair before, try as much as possible to avoid that part coming in contact with a relaxer again. So whenever you are smoothing your hair, just with your fingers, emphasis on just with your fingers again, try as much as possible to limit the smoothing process to just your new growth. So after smoothing it out, you are now going to have your wait time. Like I said earlier, this is going to depend on your hair type and on the instructions on your relaxer. Now, after waiting probably for about 5 to 10 minutes, and also depending on how fast you were during your relaxer application process, because like I said earlier, the entire time should be calculated together, the application time and the wait time. So these two should make up your entire relaxer application time. Now, after the wait time has elapsed, we now move to the third part of the relaxer process, which is the post relaxer routine. So when you hop into the shower, the first thing you want to do is to wash with a neutralizing shampoo. Some people make the mistake of washing with a regular shampoo or a clarifying shampoo or a moisturizing shampoo after their relaxer days. You need a moisturizing shampoo, like specifically. I always say that if you don't have a neutralizing shampoo available, don't even attempt relaxing your hair. Like, postpone that relaxer day until you get your neutralizing shampoo ready. So a neutralizing shampoo is a must because this stops the relaxer process. If you use any other shampoo, your hair may still be softly going through that relaxer process in the background even after washing off the relaxer. So at the end of the day, you are still going to have over-processed hair, which is going to lead to weakened hair strands and breakage. So you need that neutralizing shampoo. Like, it is a non-negotiable because this is what stops the relaxer process. Now, when you start using the neutralizing shampoo, you would notice that the ladder is pink. Now, this is telling you that the relaxer is still on your hair. So you may need to shampoo up to like 2, 3, 4, or even 5 times to get the entire relaxer off. When the ladder stops being pink, when the ladder is now white, then you know that the relaxer is completely out of your hair. So this is a perfect indicator, and this is one of the best reasons why a neutralizing shampoo is important, because the ladder tells you when the relaxer is completely out of your hair. After shampooing, the next thing you want to do is deep conditioning. Your hair has just gone through a major process. Like, a relaxer process basically breaks down the bonds in your hair. So you need to give your hair that strength back. You need to give it that nutrient back. So you need to deep condition your hair. So the first thing you need to do is protein deep conditioning. Like, this is compulsory. You need a protein deep conditioner. This is going to help straighten your hair back, help replenish your hair, and help nourish your hair again. After a protein deep conditioning, moving on, you need a moisture deep conditioner. Now, what moisturizing deep conditioning does, from the name, is basically to moisturize your hair. This is going to deeply nourish and hydrate your hair and make your hair soft. You always need that protein moisture balance in your hair, and that is why every time you use a protein deep conditioner, you also need a moisturizing deep conditioner, because using just protein on your hair, especially over a long period of time without balancing it with moisture, can put your hair at risk of protein overload, which can make your hair dry, crunchy, and very, very prone to breakage. So you always need that protein moisture balance in your hair. So after your protein deep conditioning, you need to follow it up with a moisturizing deep conditioner. Now, after deep conditioning and washing them off, the next thing you want to do is to dry your hair with either a microfiber towel or an old cotton t-shirt. Personally, I use a microfiber towel, but if you have an old cotton t-shirt, it's okay as well. But sis, don't use regular towels on your hair. These are too harsh. They can cause a lot of friction and they can break your hair. So always dry your hair with either a microfiber towel, or an old cotton t-shirt. Now that we are out of the shower, the next step on the list is to detangle. So it is very important for you to know that you don't want to detangle relaxed hair when soaking wet. And that is why throughout the entire relaxer process, like ever since this routine started, right to when you hopped into the shower, right to when you wash your hair out and everything, I never mentioned using a comb. You don't detangle relaxed hair with a comb when it is soaking wet, because this is when it is in its most fragile state. Relaxed hair is different from natural hair. When you have natural hair, the best time to detangle may even be when you are in the shower, like when you have the water running and all of that. But this is not the case for relaxed hair. Relaxed hair is very fragile when wet. So that is why you would notice that I never mentioned a comb throughout the process. Now for your detangling process, your hair is going to be a little bit dry before you start this, and that is because you don't want your hair soaking wet. So after using the microfiber towel and after a few minutes, your hair may now be about 50% air dried or even 60% air dry, and this is the best time to detangle, not when you just came out of the shower, not when it is soaking wet. So during your detangling process, you can go ahead to moisturize, to seal. In fact, using a conditioner may add extra sleep and make your detangling process easier. So during this process, you can just hit two birds with one stone, using the conditioner to detangle your hair and at the same time using it to moisturize and then sealing with your sealant. Now after detangling, the next thing is to air dry or blow dry. Now some people are against blow drying your hair on relaxer day, but basically do what works for you. Personally, I know my hair and I know that my hair can withstand blow drying or heat on my relaxer day. But another thing is that I rarely relax my hair. Like I relax my hair once a year, and that is when I use heat too. So I'm doing that once a year and my hair can take it. So that is why I am not against it for my hair. But some people don't react positively to this. If you know that you have not experimented with this before, and if you know that you are just getting to know your hair, then you can skip blow drying and just air dry your hair. I would only recommend blow drying and using heat for people who have a personal relationship with their hair, who have a better knowledge of their hair, who know what their hair can withstand and what it can't. But if you are just a beginner, you are just getting to know your hair, you don't know if your hair can take this, then for now, skip the blow drying and just use air drying. Now, there are different ways of air drying. For me, I like air drying my hair in African threaded twist because this keeps my hair stretched throughout the entire process. Like sometimes when I take down the twist, it feels like I blow dried my hair even when I didn't. So for those of you who feel you need to apply the relaxer from your new growth to the ends of your hair in order to get that stretched look, try African threading when air drying, and sis, trust me, you would never look back. So this is how I air dry my hair, but you can use any method you want. Some people just leave their hair down and allow it to do its thing. Some people wrap a scarf around their roots in order to keep it stretched and laid down. So there are basically different methods, so you can just use any one you want. As long as your hair is air dried, you are cool. Then after this, the next thing is to style. Now, when it comes to styling, I'm not talking about a long-term protective styles. So after air drying your hair, you can just put your hair in something simple as a bun or maybe two giant flat twists, or just something simple to like kind of let your hair rest. Which brings me to the next step, which is do not, and I mean do not install any form of long-term protective styles, especially when it has to do with extensions, for the next 2 weeks. Like your hair just went through a major process, which was stressful for it. So jumping back into another long-term protective style is going to do your hair more harm than good. So avoid anything like box braids, sew-ins, crochet, anything at all that requires using extensions on your hair, any long-term protective styles, anything that requires tension on your scalp. Avoid them all. Just put your hair in a simple bun or in two chunky twists, like I said earlier, to kind of let your hair rest and breathe from the entire process, the entire relaxer process, before jumping back into long-term protective styles. So moving on, another thing I want to mention is that your first time may not be perfect, and it's okay. It is perfectly okay. I don't think I have a video of my first relaxer application process. I don't know if I have that video. If I do, I'll make sure to show you guys one of these days. I'll try and dig through my old videos, my old folders, and see if I made a video about my first ever self-relaxer application process. And if I do, I'll make sure to show you guys one of these days. But just know that your first time may not be perfect, and it is okay. It may be messy, It may even leave your hair under processed. It may leave your hair over processed. It may not be perfect. The instructions on the relaxer kit may say 20 minutes and you ended up leaving it on your hair for 30 minutes. Sis, it is fine. It is completely fine. The first time is not meant to be perfect. The first time is meant to get you into the routine. Like once you start doing it over and over, like you've done it once, twice, thrice, you will see that you get better and better with it each and every single time. So it is okay. It is okay to make mistakes. It is okay to be nervous. I was so nervous before I carried out my first self-application, to the point that I almost didn't want to, but I was just like, what's the worst that's going to happen? It's just hair. The worst case scenario, which is rare, is that I lose all my hair to the relaxer application process, but that is not going to happen. In fact, what is the chance that you would lose your hair? Like you lose the entire hair to the relaxer application process, unless you probably left relaxed on your hair for, I don't know, over 1 hour or 2 hours. So that is the worst case scenario. And even if that happens, my hair will still grow back. Like my hair will still grow back. So that gave me the courage to push through, and says, ever since I did that, I have not looked back. Like the way I relax my hair is so healthy compared to how it was done back then by a hairstylist before I started applying relaxers myself. And sis, my hair has never been healthier. My hair has never been longer. Like I said, this was one of the things that grew my hair from mid-back length to butt length. And trust me, sis, if you can get the hang of it and you are patient with yourself and with the entire process, trust me, you would not look back. And by the way, guys, if you know that your goal is to stop your hair from breaking and grow your hair longer and healthier, especially if you have been struggling with this for years, like your hair has been stuck at a particular length for years, you have tried a lot of products, you have tried different recommendations, like people have told you to try different things, do different things, use different hair oils, like you've tried them all, but yet you still saw no progress, then I have the perfect solution for you, which is the Ultimate Hair Growth Guide. This guide is literally a step-by-step daily plan that includes what you do on each and every single day, that is going to help you stop your hair breakage, make your hair softer, make your hair healthy, thicker, and longer. So if you have been struggling, you don't know what routine to use, you don't know what products to use, everything is in there. The routine is there, products are there. You just have to implement. So the work is basically done for you. So if you are really serious about growing your hair longer, thicker, and healthier, then get the Ultimate Hair Growth Guide. It is linked down in the description box below. So yeah, guys, that is it for how to relax your hair at home. So I decided to take my time to make this video and make it so detailed and in-depth because I have gotten a lot of questions about it, and as you can see, it is a very broad topic. So that is why I decided to take my time, go in-depth, and talk about each and every single thing. If you can implement everything I have mentioned in this video, trust me, sis, you would never see a relaxer application process the same way again. Also, if you have any more questions, please make sure to leave them in the comment section down below and I'll make sure to get back to you. Okay, so yeah, guys, that is it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. If you are new here and you aren't subscribed, please consider subscribing to join the family, and don't forget to turn on the post notification bell so that you'll be the first to get notified whenever I upload a new video. Okay, so yeah, guys, that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.